Okay, class, we are back. We are studying the letter Q. So here I drew a letter Q for you. A Q is a big circle all the way around with a stick, and then a little circle around with a stick down for the letter Q. We will practice writing one. It's kind of hard to write them upside down. So we have a big O. Oh, you couldn't see me. We're gonna have a big O with a stick out, and then we will have a little circle and a stick that goes down for the letter Q. Qu. Our Q pictures were quail and question. We're going to learn about Quinton Quail today. I'm going to read it kind of quickly. It's a little bit of a long story. So here is a picture of Quinton Quail. There's our capital Q, little q, qua, qua, qua. If you can say that for me, have your mom record that and send it to me if you're able to. Capital Q, little q, big Q, little q, qua, qua, qua. Okay, Quinton Quail. Although he has wings, he does not fly a lot, for Quinton the Quail would much rather walk. When you think of birds, you probably think of them flying through oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm going to start all over. When you think of birds, you probably think of them flying through the airway up high. Some birds, though, do not often fly in the sky. Quinton Quail is one of those birds. Quinton has lived most of his life on the ground. He hatched from an egg that his mother laid in a small nest on the ground. The nest was not like many birds' nests that are in trees. This nest was in a hollow on the ground, like a scooped out place with some soft grasses inside to make it soft. Quinton's mother made sure that the hollow was hidden in a place where no one would find it, and she made it nice and soft. She laid there, and she had 14 creamy eggs with brown spots. Quinton grew inside his egg until he was so big that he couldn't move at all. Quinton has a special instinct that helps him to know when it's time to begin pecking at his egg until he's pecked hard enough that he can come out of his shell. After a lot of tapping inside his shell, Quinton was finally free. After a little while, Quinton's feathers dried and became soft and fluffy. Quinton learned how to stay close to his mother and pay attention to her calls. Since quails spend most of their time on the ground, they must watch out for birds that fly high in the sky and might want to have them for dinner. If Quinton's mother saw a bird flying close by, she would make a special noise that told her chicks to freeze in one place without moving. God made the baby quails the same color as the ground where they live. When chicks stay in one place without moving, it is very hard to see them. Before long, Quinton grew up. He lost his baby feathers, and he grew a grown-up feather called a plume. It was at the top of his head that wobbles and bobs when he walks. So if you look at Quinton Quail, this big feather at the top of his head is called a plume. And when he walks around, it kind of bobbles up and down. In the winter, Quinton lives with a lot of other quails in a group called a covey. Each morning, the birds in the covey scatter around and look for food on the ground. Quails eat seeds, wild berries, grapes, and the tips of grasses and some leaves, and some insects as well. Quails always make sure that they live near a place where they can get water. The quails rest together in a circle after eating, with each quail facing out to watch in all directions. Remember, there's like 15 of them in his family. It's a pretty big family. If something frightens them, they seem to explode in the air, each quail flying in a different direction. Quinton will not fly far, though. In just a few seconds, he will land on the ground with his feet already running. God made Quinton able to run very, very fast. When the danger is past, one quail will call out to the other members of the covey. Then they can gather together again. Quinton and his friends will then come out of the bushes or the tall grasses where they have hidden to join the group again. Sometimes Quinton and the other quails take baths, but it is not the way that you take a bath. Quinton takes baths in the dirt. He flaps his wings and flips himself around the dirt until it covers all his feathers all over. The dirt helps to clean Quinton's feathers just as water cleans your skin. It's a very interesting thing, isn't it? In the evening, Quinton looks for food again. When it is time for bed, he and his friends fly up to the tree to roost or sleep for the night. Tomorrow will be another busy day hunting and running for Quinton Quail. There's our Quinton Quail again. Our cue pictures over here on the side. We have Queen, Quack, Quarter, Quick. This is a picture of Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Quilt and Quiet. All of our cue pictures. That's it for our story for Quinton Quail. Here's another picture of a quail. And one more so you can see the letter Q, capital Q, big Q, little q, qua, qua, qua. The word quickly also begins with the letter Q, and we are going to, Amber Lamb is going to tell us a story about obeying quickly. All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye.